Okay, so the first one, it says a cell from a leaf on a tree would look like, and since it's a leaf on a tree, I thought that was a pretty easy one. Just click plant cell there if you were confused about that. Um, do something, there we go. All right, and then the second one said a cell from a yeast, which is a single-celled I can't talk. Fungi would look like the cell on the right below. Do fungi have cell walls to provide structure and strength to the cell? So if you zoomed in on that image, which I can't do right now because I'm screen sharing, you would see that yes, the cell wall here has plant and animal cells. So both fungi and animal cells have cell walls. So then you would pick that one. So question 3 says choose the answer below that can be killed by antibiotics. And what that came from that superbugs assignment that I gave you, and the answer to that one is bacteria. Bacteria can be killed by antibiotics. Question 4, this one a lot of people got wrong. It says put the words in order from smallest to largest. So I was hoping that you would know that the atom was the smallest thing that could be considered like um, an entire thing. So atoms like hydrogen and oxygen are the smallest. And then if you put the rest of these in order here, you know that the cells are the smallest unit of living things. And then cells make up organisms, like one living thing is an organism. And then finally, ecosystem is the biggest one here. So you had to put those in order just like that. And I think it gave you partial credit if you didn't have them in exactly the right order, but I'm going to give everyone who watches this or reaches out to me a second attempt. So just go back in and double check that. Number 5 says many bacteria are good. Humans use them for making food like sourdough bread, pickles, and yogurt. Bacteria also live on your skin and inside our stomach and other organisms. Totally true. So you just have to pick true there. All right, this one a lot of people got wrong too. This one was looking at this image again. So it says look at the image of the cell membranes below. So this is the cell membrane. All of these little molecules that are like, they kind of look like balloons with strings on them, I think. But there's 2 layers here of these lipid molecules, and it's showing how things move through. So it says the diagram shows how different substances can move through cell membranes. Match the type of transport with the description based on the diagram. The large purple ovals in the membrane are transport proteins. Okay, so these purple things here, hopefully nobody's colorblind that's watching this. I should have been a little more clear, but these are the transport proteins. And there's 2 kinds of transport: passive transport and active transport. And if you remember that discussion that I posted, active transport needs this ATP. Passive transport doesn't. You won't see ATP on the passive transport side. So ATP is energy, and that's all active means. And that makes sense because if you're active, you're using energy. If you're passive, you're just kind of hanging out, not using any energy. So here's the question. You have to match. All right, the first matching word here, so that you can see that I just took these words, diffusion, facilitated diffusion, transport protein, and active transport, and then I put a definition here, and a lot of people got these wrong too, so let's see what we should put. Diffusion. All right, if you look up here at diffusion, you can see that it's just like things moving through. There's no protein or anything like that. So, and there's obviously no ATP because it's passive. So when I see that one, look at B here. It says requires neither ATP nor a transport protein. So that means you should pick that one for diffusion because it doesn't need anything. It's just going right through the membrane. So that one, I think this, don't just put my letters here because I think I have it so it makes a new choices every quiz, so just be careful of that. Okay, the second one is transport proteins. So that one I was going for large purple ovals that molecules can move through. Obviously, they're not large in real life, they're really small. But in the diagram, it's showing molecules moving through these purple ovals through the membrane because they can't just diffuse. They can't go by diffusion. They need a trail. So that one is going to be molecules move through. That's A. Then we have active transport. Well, that's the one that needs ATP. So look at this. D needs ATP and a transport protein. So pick that one for active. And finally, let's just make sure that this works here. Facilitated diffusion and uses a transport protein but no ATP. So if you look at the facilitated diffusion here, it is using the protein, but it's not using the ATP, so I'm liking it. I'm going to put in C, and bam, done. Question 7. This one you have to write in a word, so you got to get it. I put in many options, but it says all living things are made of, and what I was hoping you would get to is cells. So, oops, I got to put that down here. You should be able to put in cells as long as you spell it right, and you should be able to get that one correct. Just remember, all living things are made of cells. And let's see, question 8 finally. Which of the following molecules would the animal cell need to take in through the membrane in order to make energy? So here you have to think about, what do animals need? And do animals need carbon dioxide? No, we exhale more carbon dioxide than we inhale. Do we need oxygen? Maybe. Do we need carbon monoxide? No, that's a poison that happens when you burn stuff, and actually, hopefully you have a carbon monoxide detector in your house that will tell you if you are getting poisoned. And finally, proteins. Okay, so proteins, we do need them. Like when you eat proteins and your cells are making proteins, but do they need to take them in through the membrane to make energy? No. The one thing that we need to stay alive every second of every day is oxygen. So that is the answer to this. So because I'm in preview mode, I'm not going to get this corrected, but I'm pretty sure since I wrote the questions that I got them all right. And that would be how you get the points for this assignment. I'm going to stop sharing. Well, first, is there any questions?
No.
All right. Right after this meet, I will make sure Bashar and Teapot to give you guys another attempt at this one, so you can go in and you can get 10 out of 10 on this one. And I think I'll just really quick look and see what I posted today and make sure that I go over that as long as I'm putting this up here. You might notice that I changed the picture on our thing to make it a little more clear what the code was and stuff. So what I put in for this week so far, I think I put 2 things in there. First thing, oh, it's taking a while. Oh, well, we'll be patient. First thing is just a discussion post. What does selective permeability mean? And that's referring to membranes. And the answer to that, what selective permeability is some things can get through and some things can't. And it's about the cell membrane. So, like, we want our cell membranes to take in oxygen and to take in food. We don't want them to take in viruses and bacteria and stuff like that. So, that's selective but permeable. So, that's that. And the second one is going to take you a bit longer. The second one, you have to get out your notebook and write some stuff down in your notebook about.
Say that again.
I'm sorry?
Can you say the first one again?
Absolutely. So the first one, the selective permeability, means that some things can get through and some things cannot. Kind of like a bouncer at a club or something like that. Like, he's gonna stand there, stop things from coming through, and say, "Are you on the list?" And if they're on the list, they can come in, and if they're not on the list, they stay out. And so that's what I mean. Does that help?
Yes.
Cool. All right, and then the second assignment that might take you a little longer is I attached a PDF of some notes about neurons. So if we were in school right now, it would be me standing up writing these on the board and then you writing them down. But since we're not, I just put a PDF of my notes on here for today. Oh my gosh. Are they all sideways? All right, I'll try to fix that because I know that's annoying. I've posted a sideways picture of the PDF. And you'll just write these down. You already drew a neuron last week, so you don't need to worry about drawing them if you don't need to. Okay. And that, like I said, will take you a while. You'll snap a picture of your notebook and then submit it for points for that assignment. All right. I'm going to stop sharing and just ask one more time if there's any questions or anything like that.
Oh.
No? All right, sounds good. Well, I will let you go off and work on your stuff then, and I will remember to right now go in and give you another. Actually, what I'll do is unsubmit your first attempt at 2.4 so that you can go in, change your answers, and improve your grade on that. Have a good day, you guys.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.